On the ice, Mike Bossy will remain as one of the greatest hockey players ever to lace on a pair of skates. Off the ice, I think Mike's legacy is going to become the early detection, the screening, the early screening for lung cancer. Our friendship first developed in Mike's first training camp. We had heard about this phenom goal-scoring machine from the Quebec League. We're all pretty eager to see him on the ice for the first time. When you play with someone for 10 years, roommates, line mates, I love that bond that we have. I love that friendship that we have.
Well, definitely, I'm going to say Mike Bossy was the best hockey player, the best goal scorer.
For Long Island fans, he was like a hero. I think that he showed that, no matter what people say, if you're determined to achieve a goal, anything's possible.
He did have 9 consecutive seasons of 50 goals. He had 50 goals in 50 matches.
The 50 and 50, the only time that I saw my dad dancing on skates. And then the 4 Stanley Cups.
I'll never, ever forget the 10 years that I played on Long Island and the fans that supported me. Thank you very, very, very much.
My dad always said he was 200% in hockey, and I think he struggled with that when we were younger because he couldn't be perfect as a dad and as a hockey player. So when he retired, he really became super invested. And then when I had my kids, he became a 400% grandfather. He would do anything for them. In 2019, my dad started to have weird symptoms.
He had knee pains and back pains.
People recall him as being a smoker, but nobody thought of screening his lungs.
He was being treated for arthritis for maybe 2 years.
In 2021, when he did get the diagnosis, the cancer was in his lungs, but it had spread out to his bones.
Lung cancer is the second most common form of cancer, but most importantly, is the leading cause of death by cancer in both men and women in the US. The big difference in lung cancer is made by the early diagnosis.
Stage 4 cancer in any person is not good. I had the ability to talk to my son who's in oncology. I just wanted to understand the prognosis and what he was going to have to go through. It hurt. Doable, but extremely slim. And so that's the fight that Mike had.
It was hard. It was hard, and I felt helpless.
At the end, they had to stop all the treatments, and my dad came back home because he wanted to die at home. We poured him with our love.
I drove the 10 hours from Pittsburgh to Montreal and spent 2 days with my buddy.
When Brian came into his room, my dad just opened his arms and, they just hugged.
He kept apologizing. I said, "What are you apologizing for, you big nut?" I said, I'm here because I love you, and he goes, I just don't want you to see me like this. I don't want you to remember me like this. I said, hey, how you look and what I remember, that'll be up to me.
It's very touching to see how many people, everybody loved him. I realized how big he was.
He lived 6 months, knowing he had the disease, and it wasn't diagnosed on time. I was very angry, and he said, you have to stop being angry. Take that energy and go save other people once all of this is done, because for me, it's too late. When my dad passed away, our family partnered with Lung Cancer Canada to do the Mike Bossy Memorial Fund. What I hope is a screening program, where we identify patients that are at risk for lung cancer. And even if you do not have any symptoms, that at a certain age, every year, you go and you do the scan.
People who smoke will have more chances to develop a lung cancer. But that does not mean that only people who smoke can develop lung cancer. If you have lungs, you can have lung cancer.
I think the fund will maybe help other people to get early screening, and hopefully there's some children that don't have to lose a parent.
My dad always set goals and always knew that by working hard, he would achieve those goals. And in his sickness, he couldn't do that. He wanted to live, he couldn't live. So I'm sure that my dad, knowing what our family is doing, and if he could change the path of other patients, I think he would be even prouder than what he did on the ice.